What's going on, guys? I'm switching it up a little bit today because when I went to go to the Madden release or the midnight release on Monday night, that wasn't the only thing I was picking up. For now, I forget when I found out about it, but for a few months now, I've been waiting for the Ratchet and Clank collection. Now, if you don't know what this game is, on the PlayStation 2, this was a pretty popular series. It was a PlayStation exclusive. It wasn't an extremely popular series, but it had a very good fan base, and it was one of my favorite series, and now I have to say that this right here, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, is my favorite game of all time. At least my favorite non-sports game for sure. And this was a game I played back when I think I was in 6th or 7th grade. And I've now graduated high school and everything. I'm 19 years old. But this game was my absolute favorite. I spent so much time on this game. It was my first real online game. I think I started off playing like Madden, I don't know what it would have been, like 04, 05, and then this game. And this was one of the games that really got me started with online gaming and got me to just like, once I played this game, all I really cared about going forward in shooters, or most games anyway, was online multiplayer. And so here I am now. They released the Ratchet and Clank collection, the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games in this series on the PlayStation 2, which they had 4. The one they did not include was Ratchet Deadlocked, which was an alright game, but I think I wouldn't have wanted that one if I could only choose 3. The first 3 are awesome. The first one was probably my least favorite, actually, to play as a story mode, just because I liked the stories for 2 and 3 more, and all the weapon upgrading you could do. And then number 2 is my favorite as far as single player goes, because there was so many great weapons, and there was just so much to keep you busy in that game. And then 3 was highlighted for me because of its multiplayer, which was awesome. It's been the best experience I've had on any shooter, bar none. Second place would have to go to Gears of War 1, but I love this game, and to be able to play it again, I mean, I've played it, is the servers, from my knowledge, are like still up, or were still up as of like 6 months ago or a year ago on the PlayStation 2, and it's an old game. If I played it when I was like 13 years old, it's a pretty old game, and there was still a very, very small amount of people playing, like maybe 30, 40 when I was online. I could get in a couple lobbies, and now for it to be back, and they brought back the online servers, I'm absolutely jacked about this. I'm like, finally, something can keep me from buying Call of Duty this November, and it's going to be Ratchet and Clank. So here I am. I didn't talk about the gameplay really. What I'm doing here is I'm playing Capture the Flag here on Outpost X12, and I remember all these maps by heart pretty much. Most of the weapon spawns and most of the just things on each map, the little gaps you can jump over, and the wrench jumps. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about unless you play this game online. But here's a 25-minute game. I went 14 and 16, my first game on the Ratchet and Clank collection, and I was just so happy to be able to play this game again. I mean, of course, I'm not as good as I used to be. I still got a lot of getting used to, because I still want to play this game a lot more. Like, I didn't just buy it to play and have a little nostalgia trip for a half hour or an hour. I wanted to actually play this game like having my regular shooter, because usually I like to have a shooter on the side that I just play for fun, and I don't want to have to get Call of Duty again, because I always go through this every year about how I have fun initially and then I just get bored. And this game, I don't get bored of it. I never got bored of it in the past. It was always awesome. Of course, it's different now because I used to play with, like, the community back then was very small. It's like going to a small school. You pretty much, honestly, you knew everybody on the game. It was before multiplayer gaming even got big. Nowadays, you go on Call of Duty, you go on there, you play with, I don't know how many people go on the game, so like 15 other people. You probably never see those people ever again online. Whereas on Ratchet and Clank, there was very small, close-knit community, a lot of clans. The clans were very competitive. And it was just so much different because of the size of the game and how new multiplayer gaming on consoles really was. And it was one of the first games I had played online. Like I said, that, Madden, I played some like SOCOM 1 back then as well. But this game by far